Hello, Imram. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Uh, I hope everybody's doing okay, or at least, somewhat good. Today is a beautiful day. Yeah, don't pay attention. It always happens when I'm trying to turn my cameras on. Somebody's working on my yard. Okay, I'm in just a landscaping company. But anyway, I'm glad to see you. So, Bernie, good to see you. Imram, good to see you. Yeah, I mean, you should be able to see me now. Imram is saying I can hear you shaving but cannot see you. So what do you mean you don't see me? Uh, can you see a picture or there's a problem? Hold on. Let me double check. Double check, double check. Yeah, you should be able to see me. You should be able to see me. Let me know if you can see, okay? Faizan, Faizan, good to see you. Hello, sir. Hello, everyone. Now, today, while I'm waiting, I can just give you an idea what we're going to talk about. Okay, so I'm getting emails, like I said previously in previous live streams, and some of them really interesting emails, some of them not too interesting emails, and but one of the questions actually, I think it's really interesting. It's easy to answer on one hand, and it's not too easy on in other hand. The question is why wood carving is important. Okay, why wood carving is important, and I mean it's kind of tricky question. Important for you, are important for me, are important for the world. It's just like too broad of a question. But anyway, I took that question and I think I'll try to answer it. Let me carve and I'll try to answer that question, or at least my opinion. Рустам, добрый вечер. Очень приятно. Good question. Rustam is asking me in Russian. He's actually asking me how am I, holding myself in shape. Okay, I'm not only carving wood, I am carving my body. I'm a wood carver and a body carver. I mean, I'm not using gouges, of course. I'm not using chisels to carve my body, but I am going to gymnasium pretty much every day. And besides that, I mean, just doing my lifting and the cardio and so on. And I always walk. Okay, I always walk. So that's how I hold myself in shape. Рустам, теперь по-русски скажу для тебя. Я себя держу в форме. Я постоянно занимаюсь в спортзале. Okay? Каждый день, помимо того, что я занимаюсь резьбой по дереву, я вырезаю себя. Okay? Я резчик по себе, if you wish to call it. Okay? But нужно понимать, что я каждый день работаю на одном месте, и это недостаточно движений, поэтому я иду в джим и беру штангу и начинаю просто поднимать ее. Okay? Hope it answers the question. Надеюсь, что это отвечает на вопрос. Let me switch. Misrat, good to see you. Imram, thank you very much. Let me see if everybody's connected. Now, wonderful people. If you are watching me on Facebook or Twitter or Twitch, I highly recommend you to go to my YouTube channel, okay? YouTube channel would be much better. That would be youtube.com/ and my last name, Grabovetsky, okay? That's much better quality, much better streaming. I hope sound is good and the picture is much better than anywhere else, okay? Now, if you do have a Facebook, if you do have a Instagram or Pinterest, I really want to ask you to follow me. Follow it would be Woodcarver Grabovetsky on all of those platforms. Woodcarver Grabovetsky, Instagram and Facebook and also Pinterest. Before too long, please like it. I mean, it's important, okay? Give me some love, give me some likes. And don't forget, please, 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 give me some love, okay? Give me some love. But anyway, so let me carve a little bit and I'll try to answer that question. Let me repeat. The question is, why wood carving is important? Alex, добрый вечер. Cheryl, good to see you. Wow, Canada. Cold, cold, cold. But again, why wood carving is important? And I know if you would have a chance to answer that question, you would come up probably with your own answer. And I would like to hear what you think. Okay, why is it important? Why is it really important? I believe it's really important, actually. Okay, especially if you do have a talent, artistic talent, not just that you draw, but work in three-dimensional, in 3 dimensions, work on 3-dimensional sculpture. So wood carving really important. Okay, but the question is why. The question is why. Okay, and it has. Oops! I just dropped my mallet. All right, I shouldn't drop it, but let me try to answer why wood carving is important. Okay, if you wood carver, or if you want to start carving wood, doesn't matter, hobby level or professional level, doesn't really matter. So it's still really important. And today I'm gonna look from the side which benefits me or you, okay, as a person who carves wood, who takes, you know, a mallet and carves wood, and I carve every day. Like I said, that question is kind of broad and it's not that easy to answer. You know, why is it important? You know, important for who? Okay, important for the world of art. Yes, it is important, but there's different types of art and different expressions of art. And yes, wood carving is just one of the ways to express artistic abilities or art. Okay, but I want to just get to the point. Why is it important for me personally and for you as a wood carver? Okay, so Danilo, hello, hello. Иван, очень приятно. Здравствуйте, Иван. Reason number one. It actually expresses your artistic ability at the higher level. And I said that many times. There's a lots of artistic people in the world with abilities to draw, to paint, create beautiful, beautiful, you know, paintings. But all the paintings, they are limited to 2D world, okay? And wood carving is 3-dimensional, 3D world. So it's actually number one. You know, why is it important? If you do have artistic ability, you just grow higher. So you actually go to the next step, to the next level. Okay, so is it important? For some of you, yes. For some of you, not. But one of the benefits When you're working, let's say, on a three-dimensional world project, this, for example, this project is not really 3D, although overall composition will be 3D, but this part, it's not really 3D, it's more like relief carving. But I still have to think, you know, the levels, how high that spot's supposed to be, how low this spot's supposed to be, how low that spot, how low this spot, and so on. Different levels, okay? It's still a somewhat three-dimensional world, okay? So, and benefit of working in 3D, and it's not only in wood carving, it also applies to sculpture. Okay, when you work in 3D, pretty much your brain functions differently. Okay, so you are using different parts of your brain which you never used. For example, when I was teaching in one of the classes, well, not one of the classes, I should say, every time when I teach in person, like a 1 week long class, I push on the day number 1 and on day number 2 in development as much as possible, the form itself. And by the day number 2, by Tuesday usually, when I start on Monday, by Tuesday night, about 5 p.m., 6 p.m., people get brain tired, okay? So brain gets really, really, really tired. What happens with your brain? Why you get that tired? It's not really intensive labor. I'm talking about you're not lifting weights or doing a shoveling or stuff like this, but your brain tired. Why is that? Okay, because you never used, most of the time when I'm teaching a class in person, lots of people, they never tried, they never actually touched the gouge before, okay? And they introduced to three-dimensional world. And when they start working in three-dimensional world, even on a project like this, that is not full 3D, but still somewhat 3D. It's a relief carving, but still somewhat 3D. I mean, your brain has to work differently. Your brain has to work absolutely, absolutely differently. Okay, so what I'm talking about, there's a part of a brain you never used before, and now you are using. And yes, I was actually reading about what happens when you start working in three-dimensional world, in 3D. So you actually develop new brain cells, and that's a fact. So you pretty much growing your brains, okay? So your brains literally, physically getting bigger, okay? So you activate some parts you never used. And why does it benefits you? Well, first of all, when you're young, you really don't worry about losing your memory, okay? Or losing your mind. But some people, when they're getting old, they have a fear. Lots of people actually, lots of people all over the world, they fear to lose memory, okay? So dementia, development of dementia, when the brain stops functioning the proper way. And one of the ways to prevent that is actually working in 3D, because brain develops new cells and it just cannot die, okay? What happens with dementia? Brain cells die, and, literally, it shrinks. But by working as a wood carver or get yourself in wood carving hobby, you actually expanding your brain. So you're getting bigger brain. So it's a lot less chance to get dementia. So if you're really afraid of memory loss or aging and so on, so get in wood carving. So that is a really important point. Okay, let me see if somebody's jumped in a chat. Give me some likes if you like that subject, please. If you do like that subject, give me some likes and thumbs up, okay? So now, second, why is that important? And I'm gonna again just chop some for you wouldn't get too bored. I'll chop some of the wood away. The second reason why is that important, okay? It's about your heart, physical. I'm talking about, again, just the physical heart, okay? What happens when you're using your hands? So what happens when you're using your hands and you constantly just squeezing, you moving, you rotating, you slicing with your hands, you pumping blood, you know? So the blood actually goes to the heart, and it also helps your heart. So pretty much it's just like a medicine, okay? That's what happens to your heart. First I said what happens to your brain, second what happens to your heart, and third, if you're not old and if you're not afraid of losing memory, or if you're not worried about the heart, so there's also benefit. What I like the most probably, when you're doing that every day, wood carving, you pretty much using just your hands. You don't use as much your brain, okay? So you already established, you know, what you need, and all you have to do just chop, just work on details, and it becomes like a automatic mode, okay? So you pretty much just like machine. So you're digging, 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 and digging, all right? Now, when you're digging with your hands, your head still kind of has to work. Yeah, when you develop 3D, when you think about it, yes, you have to think about that hard. But most of the time, when you already establish the heights and lows, so you're working like an automatic mode. And for those of you who carve, you do understand what I'm talking about, okay? So you really either want to listen to something or even, you know, study something, okay? And I've done that for many years. I pretty much done that for many years. So while I was carving, again, my brain is not used, and I decided, why waste time? I can actually invest, you know, that time in something good. And I'm not that big on listening music. Yeah, I do listen sometimes, but the music I listen is probably different most of you listening. I like, okay, I like, don't laugh, okay? Please don't laugh. But music I like is just the classical music. Yeah, really. I mean, it's Mozart, Vivaldi, Bach. So I like to listen to that music. And also when I'm listening to that music, I see the quality of my work, you know, goes up. I like that. But it's not like every day, you know, I'm listening to that music. Most of the time, I'm listening books, okay? Audio books. I have multiple accounts. I've got Audible. I've got also Russian accounts. You know, there's a Litras, and I listen audio books. And also, a few years ago, well, not, even now, I'm listening books and some courses, okay, some university courses. But a few years ago, quite many years ago, I thought, why don't I take the true university course with all the credits? And yes, you know, I passed, you know, some universities, not one university, okay? So I've got number one university, it was just, you know, Scranton University. It was distance education. I've gotten another university, it was Nazarene Bible College. In another university, it was Baton Rouge University. And I passed, you know, all the tests while I was carving. Is it beneficial? Oh, absolutely. I was actually not just doing it for fun. I mean, I was carving for clients, all right? I was carving for clients, and I was running my own business with my employees while I was carving, and I did actually, you know, listened and watched those courses while I was carving. Is that benefited me? Yeah, there's a lot of benefits. It was just like multitasking without multitasking. It's like multi-management, I would say, without even multi-management. But I was able to do multiple things at once and concentrate because I was able, it's not actually multitasking, it's not true. It's multi-switching, okay? Multi-switching, because when you carve and don't think about what you do, if you're in automatic mode, you just able to switch your brains and listen something. When you have to switch back and think about 3D and the heights and lows and the movements and all the lows and stuff like this, you're just switching back to carving. So that is really beneficial for me. And I can tell you one more thing, but let me see if there's anyone in the chat. Иван, кота на саксофоне в руки, конечно, музыка, 100%. Let me see. Cheryl. Absolutely. Classical music, it's the best. Okay. Also, why is that important? And that's probably gonna be the big idea of today's live stream. Do not judge me, please, okay? Because I tell you what I believe with all of my heart. When I'm watching my children, they're grown up, and my daughter, she's got family. My son lives, he bought the house and so on. They all grown up. But while they were growing, I noticed all of my children, they do have different talents, okay, different abilities. And it's not what I expected. Let's say my son, he likes computers, and he became one of the best in programming. Not just programming, it's actually engineer. Software engineering and so on. My daughter, the oldest daughter, she became an architect. Okay, my youngest daughter, when she signed up for university course, so she studies chemistry. Did I imagine they would do that? Absolutely not. But the talent they had, or talents, I should say, you can note from a childhood. When I walked inside of the bathroom of my daughter, I don't know how many chemicals I had to buy to clean the sink after whatever the chemistry she did. Since she was young, she was just doing some stuff with all types of, chemics, okay? So, and I don't know, but it was a talent inside. So now, yes, I am carving since 6 years old, and I knew I do have a talent. Is that important? If you do have a talent, if I have a talent, I think it is really important, okay? Really important, even if people don't understand, okay? So let me tell you a story which you can find in the oldest book on planet Earth, in the Bible, okay? There was a guy. He was born in Egypt, okay? And all his life until the adulthood, so he was actually working with the bricks. He would just create, brick by brick. So he was just a laborer, okay, like everybody else in his family and also in his nationality. He was a Hebrew guy, okay, so he was a Hebrew guy born in Egypt, long time ago, 3,600 years ago. And there was a time when the Hebrew people walked out and they came to the Mount Sinai. And why is that important? Moses went uphill, and I'm not talking about Moses today, okay? Moses went up to that mountain to Sinai, and he spent 40 days right there. Again, I'm not trying to convert anybody or be religious, but there's a big point, okay? And he was getting all the instructions for 40 days, okay? Well, not really 40 days. To be true, it was only 33 days, because first 7 days, well, 33 and a half days, okay? Because the first 6.5 days, God didn't say anything, he was quiet. But 33 and a half days, or 33 days and few hours, he was getting instructions how to build Ark of the Covenant. Okay, and Exodus 31, which is one of my favorite chapters, mentions one of the verses when God appears to Moses and he says, Moses, make sure that, I'm not gonna even mention, just to check yourself, okay? In Russian translation, the name of this guy, Bezalel, okay, I'll tell you, okay? So, and God says, make sure I appointed this person, this guy, and I gave him, another helper, okay? And he actually named that guy. That guy I'm talking about today. So, and Moses went down after 40 days, and he said to the people of Israel, and he said, hey, God told me, make sure this guy gonna build the Ark of the Covenant. And this guy actually, he was a really, really skillful man. He was able to work with stone and metals and leather. And it also mentions he was a wood carver. Okay, so he was a wood carver. So he actually ornated all the Ark of the Covenant and so on. So he was working on tabernacle. On the whole thing. Okay, all the tabernacle. Why I mentioned that to you today? I was thinking about that for a long time, for a really long time actually. He was born in Egypt, but he has a talent, or he had talent. And that talent, if you have a talent, usually since childhood you already notice that talent, okay? For example, like I said, I notice talents of my children. If you do have a talent, you notice that talent since childhood. Think about just one day, okay, of this guy. He was working really hard in Egypt. All day long, he was just doing whatever all the slaves did, worked with those bricks. Late at night, he would come home, and everybody else would spend, if it would be today, they would just click on Netflix or YouTube and so on. But this guy would take a wood carving knife or wood carving chisel or whatever the tool he had, and he would just grab a piece of wood and just carve. Okay, so what he did, so he just carved. But think about environment. Let's say he had a wife, okay, and if you think about slavery, they didn't have a separate houses. His father was living there, probably, maybe his grandfather still alive, and so on. And wife would say, why would you even do that? You are a slave. All your life is going to be just a brick making. So you're going to make bricks every day all of your life. Look at your father. Your father was a brick maker. Your grandfather was a brick maker. Great-grandfather was a brick maker. And why you need that, okay? Why you develop, why you work on, piece of wood? But this guy didn't know God gave him that talent, okay? So really, God gave him that talent for purpose. He even didn't know there's going to be one day when he's going to walk out together with the 2 million people and Moses and Aaron, and God will say, hey, I appointed this guy for this type of work, okay? So that was a really important, that he would spend his time at home taking his knife and just do whatever he done with his wood. Okay, it was really important. Okay, so what I'm talking about, so he didn't know uh, why he was doing what he was doing, but God had um, purpose for him. Okay, or task, and only this guy, he was able to do that task. Okay, why is it important? Well, I said benefits for you personally, but there's also divine benefit. Who knows why you got that talent? Okay, who knows why you develop that talent, why you're working on it, when you could spend time just watching Netflix if you're younger, if you're older, spend time on Facebook if you really young, on TikTok. Okay, but just spend time with wood carving. That's probably much better, right? So let me see if there's some comments, and I'm pretty much probably missed most of you. Oops, something happens with my computer, losing something. All right, so if you like that subject, give me a thumbs up. Please check my calendar. So below the video, there's going to be a link, to my calendar, and when I'm teaching in person. And I hope to see you next time. Have a wonderful and blessed rest of your day. Have a good one.